Up next, Billings residents standing by Berry Beach.
There are people that are concerned about what happened with Berry.
And James Holmes pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. Those stories and more right now. Fox 5 News at 9.
Your first local news at 9 starts right now, only on Fox 5 at 9.
A public hearing on the SME bankruptcy kicking off just hours ago. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Emily Scarlett. Tonight, residents of Great Falls voicing their opinions and concerns over the city's proposed budget amendment to take existing funds to make the first payment in the Southern Montana Electric settlement. The city of Great Falls doesn't have much time to come up with the $2.5 million first payment in their settlement with Southern Montana Electric. The city manager proposes a budget amendment that would take the money from 8 different funds within the current budget. These funds were selected as money that would not be immediately missed and the city could recover from this loss of funds over time. But not everyone at tonight's city commission meeting was content with the city solution.
$5 million of ECP's debt is directly chargeable to this commission.
Recover some of this money from those responsible for it, and that relates to customers and from the existing city commission and ideally prior city commissions and mayors.
Many members of the public feel the situation revolving around Electric City Power and Southern Montana Electric is still a mystery. And not only do they want answers as to what went wrong, they also want to know who's responsible. The city will also need to come up with an additional $750,000 by the end of this year for the second payment. City officials say the 2014 budget is where most of the effects of the settlement will be felt. Several members of the Billings community standing behind Berry Beach less than 3 weeks after his return to prison to finish serving his 100-year sentence. Ziggy Ziegler created an online petition to free convicted murderer Berry Beach. A longtime beach supporter, Ziggy is a member of Montanans for Justice. He decided to start the petition when Berry was ordered to return to prison. Already, the petition has over 3,000 signatures.
We want those that are in a position of authority, the governor, the attorney general's office, and the Supreme Court, to be aware that there is a groundswell effort to let them know that there are people that are concerned about what happened with Berry.
The group also planning to prepare a written petition for people to sign. Beach was freed in 2011 while awaiting a new trial before a judge reversed that decision and sent him back to jail. For those interested, a link for the online petition can be found on your screen. All right, moving into weather, Chief Meteorologist Ted King is here with a first look at our forecast. Ted, it started off a little gloomy, but sunshine at last.
You said it, at last. Turned out to be a beautiful evening out there after we had a lot of clouds this morning. And there are still some flood advisories in the state. Let's take a look at what's going on here. And for our area right now, Clear Creek near Chinook is in a flood warning until Friday. That's at about 10.3 feet. The flood stage is 5.5. And Big Sandy Creek near Havre, that is has a flood warning until further notice. So just take note of that. Let's take a look at the high temperatures across the region today. No, not 74 at Jordan. It was actually 60 there for you. We see these cooler temperatures well below average. We'll be above average tomorrow, Emily, and I'll have that forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Ted. Well, I'd say it's time for some sun. School is out with several local schools closing those double doors one last time today. All this week, students at Great Falls High School, CMR, and Great Falls Central Catholic finishing up their final projects and tests and dreaming about that final bell releasing them for summer break. Finding that perfect summer job seems to be the most common summertime activity for today's average high school teens.
Football, work, hanging out with her, chilling, and doing bonfires.
Just gonna, well, I need to recover a credit for English, but after that I'm probably just gonna work for my grandpa for a while.
Each of our local high schools has a few more days left of finals. Great Falls High will be the first to get out this Thursday. CMR and Central Catholic will both be ending their semesters Friday afternoon. And after the summer break, this fall, Missoula County Public Schools will launch the state's first public Spanish immersion program. Reporter Ashley Sanchez visited Paxton Elementary School today to find out what this means for students.
It's really time for public schools to start looking at adding additional languages to their programs.
For years, Paxton Elementary School Principal Kelly Chumraw and other Missoula County public school officials have been working to bring a language immersion program to the district.
We're so isolated here in Missoula, and we don't have as much diversity as we might like, so learning another language gives you an opportunity to learn about other places.
Their work will finally have paid off this fall when a Spanish language course opens to 40 students, 20 kindergartners, and 20 first graders. The program will take students through 5th grade at Paxton Elementary School.
It's really giving them a gift of an additional language which enriches their culture, their ability to know about the world.
The district looked at several different languages but landed on Spanish.
Spanish is the third most spoken language in the world, and so it's an important language to know.
Instruction will be divided between 2 classrooms. An English-speaking teacher teaches language arts and literacy skills, while another teaches Spanish literacy and mathematics.
I think the more that we can embrace and understand people from other places, the better our world will be.
Julie Lennox, the head of the Missoula International School, the only language immersion elementary school in the entire state, says she knows firsthand students benefit from these types of programs.
We've been doing this for almost 20 years, and we know it to be a really wonderful way for kids to learn.
She says this program comes at the right time because her school is almost full.
Parents really want their kids to learn in this kind of way.
Families interested in the Spanish immersion program must apply by June 30th. Students will be selected by a drawing this summer.
Last night, we examined Montana's outlook for wildfires this year for Awareness Week. Tonight, we're wondering, after firefighters battle the beast of a raging fire, just how do they determine the cause? According to Alan Hutton, captain of the Lockwood Fire Department, it's not an easy task when investigating the cause of a wildfire. Evidence can get wiped out by the intense heat and strong winds.
It's interviewing somebody that was there. You know, a lot of times starts can be accidental, so people who are there can actually tell us how they started.
It's not an exact science, and Captain Hutton says even after investigating some of those wildfires, some of them get classified as undetermined. Nonetheless, experts say it's important to do everything you can to prevent unintended wildfires. Some important house safety tips to remember include, when disposing of ash from fireplaces outside, be sure to drown the charcoal and ash with lots of water to make sure the fire is out completely. When smoking outside, grind out your cigarette, cigar, or pipe tobacco in the dirt. Never grind it on a stump or a log, and never throw it away into the brush or leaves. A judge allowing the accused Colorado theater shooter to change his plea. James Holmes now claiming he was insane when he opened fire on moviegoers and therefore is not guilty of murder. The man accused of opening fire in a crowded Colorado movie theater changing his plea today. The judge allowing James Holmes to plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Holmes will now undergo testing by state doctors to evaluate whether he was able to distinguish right from wrong at the time of the shooting. The plea may be the only way for Holmes to avoid the death penalty, but the mental evaluation could drag on for months. The change in plea also means Holmes waives his right to medical privacy, which is bringing a notebook he sent to a psychiatrist before the crime back to the forefront of this case. It will now be handed over to police. Legal experts say that notebook and the booby trapping of his apartment may hint at premeditation and void his claim of insanity. Holmes is the only suspect in the July 20th massacre that killed 12 and injured dozens more as they watched a screening of The Dark Knight Rises in an Aurora movie theater. Holmes will now be committed to a mental health institution. Other court news making headlines: South African Olympic champion Oscar Pistorius making a brief court appearance ahead of his murder trial for the killing of his model girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. Prosecutors asking the judge to postpone the trial until mid-August. The prosecution arguing police need more time to investigate the case. Authorities allege Pistorius shot Steenkamp while she cowered inside the bathroom of his Pretoria mansion following an argument on February 14th, Valentine's Day, but police bungled the early investigation. Pistorius is facing premeditated murder charges and a life sentence if convicted. The judge has postponed the trial to August 19th. And now we'd like to hear the voice of our viewers. Tell us what you think. Head over to our Fox 5 Facebook page, like it, and tell it to Fox by commenting on this week's question. It's that simple, and we'll feature your comments on Thursday night's show. Here's this week's question. Florida Governor Rick Scott could sign the Timely Justice Act into law as soon as this week. The bill is aimed at speeding up the death penalty process so that inmates would be executed within 180 days of the warrant. Is this a good idea when, according to the Death Penalty Information Center, 1 in 20 death row inmates are later found not guilty? Or is this idea of swift justice the best way to honor the victims and their families? Head over to our Fox 5 Facebook page, like it, and tell us to Fox by commenting on this week's question, which will be posted at the very top of the page, and we'll feature your comments on Thursday night's show. The summer season proves to be a challenging month for the American Red Cross. Though they aim for 155 units of blood donations each day, tonight our own Myra Castaneda tells us achieving this is much harder for this time of the year.
Summer's a time when school's out and people take their summer vacations. It's also a time when the need for blood donations increase.
We get 20% of our donors from the high schools and colleges, and when they're not in session, we don't get those donors.
Shanahan says although they currently are on a blood shortage, the number of donations significantly decreases during the summer, which is concerning because it only takes one bad accident to use most of the inventory.
My father was in a car wreck and used 240 units of blood over a 3-month period.
Red blood cells have a shelf life of 42 days, and so the blood bank is always looking to fill their shelves.
That's why we always want to make sure the blood is on the shelf, because that could deplete the blood supply pretty quickly with an example like that with a car accident victim.
The blood donation process takes about 45 minutes. After filling out health history, the donation itself is 8 to 10 minutes. And a pint of blood later can then be used to save at least 2 lives. Anyone who is in great health is encouraged to donate, especially those with an O-negative blood type.
And it would go to anyone in an emergency situation. If the hospital didn't know your blood type, you would receive O-negative blood.
The next American Red Cross Bloodmobile will be stopping by at Walmart in Great Falls on Thursday from 1 to 5 p.m. In Great Falls, Myra Castaneda, Fox 5.
Well, hopefully some warm weather will encourage folks to go ahead and make those blood donations. The most important question is, though, will the sunshine stick around as long as the rain did?
Oh, well, that's a tough one there. We know it'll be at least above any clouds that move.
All right, I'll accept that.
You know, and I almost forgot that name, too, the sun. The sun, that's right. It's the sun. It came out this afternoon and this evening. Beautiful evening out there. And I'll tell you just how long that sun will be out coming up after the break. First, let's take a look at where we were today. Yeah, only the upper 50s, well below average. We'll be above average for the next couple of days. We'll talk about that on the weekend, so stick around.
Your Weather Authority forecast continues right now on Fox 5 at 9.
All right, good evening, everybody. So glad you're with us on this Tuesday. Yes, indeed, 2 days out of the way. And the sun came out later on this afternoon. Temperatures right now, 50 in Great Falls, 55 in Helena, getting down to the upper 30s and low 40s overnight. Look at this. Clouds getting on out of here. We'll clear out tonight. Things going to be very, very nice. Could be a little patchy fog towards morning. And that culprit, there it is, right? That area of low pressure getting on out of here. And with that, look at all these clear skies we have here. And that's complements of high pressure sitting roughly in this general vicinity. That's going to move towards us, give us a nice couple of days. And another system, a weak one, will move towards us and give us a chance for some showers on Friday and into Saturday. You'll see that in the 7-day. But over my shoulder, there goes the low, and here comes the high. Nice day tomorrow, nice day on Thursday. By late in the day on Thursday, however, there is a chance for a shower. But again, it's not going to be anything like we saw with this last system. And temperatures will be much warmer than they were with the last system as well. So here's your forecast for central Montana. Becoming mostly clear tonight. Temperatures down to the 30s to around 40. Tomorrow, hey, have at it. Maybe a little golf, 70s. 75 in Great Falls, 77 for high in Helena. Beautiful day coming up. Rocky Mountain front tonight down to the upper 30s to around 40. Mostly clear. Hey, look at this. Warmer tomorrow, 70 to 75. Rocky Mountain front. Still some lingering clouds. So you'll become partly cloudy, a little patchy fog towards morning with lows down into the 40s. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, a mild day, light winds too, with temperatures in the upper 60s to around 70 in the next 7 days. Here's how it looks. Now Thursday, there may be more sun than depicted here. Just a slight chance for a shower late in the day. Don't go canceling your outdoor plans. Friday, a little better chance for a few thunderstorms around here, but not a widespread event. Same thing on into Sunday, just a slight chance for a shower on Sunday. But look at those temperatures, nice and warm for the next few days. Emily?
Coming up, Matthew Morrison tells us where it all began.
Give it everything you got.
With his new album hitting store shelves this week. That's in tonight's entertainment update. Up next on Fox 5. Matthew returns to his roots. Johnny Cash is forever stamped. One star telling the world just how full of glee she really is. And Idol stars will just have to cancel in tonight's entertainment update.
Who says you're not stop attention?
9 of the 30 American Idol summer concerts have been canceled because of so-called production and scheduling issues. The tour starts July 19th in Kent, Washington, about 3 weeks later than originally planned.
What have I become?
A new stamp featuring the late country legend Johnny Cash was released today. The Forever stamp features a photo of Cash that was taken during a promotional shoot for his 1963 Ring of Fire album. Charisse Pimpingo, who played Sunshine Corzin on Fox's hit show Glee, has come out of the closet. The Filipino singer appeared on the second season of Glee playing a foreign exchange student from the Philippines. She confirmed she is a lesbian during a recent talk show interview, saying, "I don't know what the problem is because for me, there is no problem."
Give it everything you got.
And Glee star Matthew Morrison's second album, Where It All Began, hit stores this week. He says his new single, It Don't Mean a Thing, is just one of the famous Broadway hits that made him fall in love with music. And that's your entertainment update. A local Great Falls High student taking part in a national business competition and earning the highest ranking out of the entire state of Montana. Fox 5's Joe Viega has more.
Great Falls High sophomore Cody Conway is a member of the DECA Club and the debate team. But it is his work with the Business Professionals of America that landed him as the top business student in the state of Montana.
I had to compete at a regional level and a state level. At the state level, I took first place.
Last month at the National Co-Curricular Vocational and Technical Club competition, Conway moved on to the national level with his economics project taking 10th place in the nation, where only the top 2 in each category gets to move on.
The topic for the entire nation was the same. It was about youth unemployment, what causes it, how does it affect the economy, and what can you do to change it? That's basically what the entire project was about.
Conway has some simple advice for any student who wants to be successful in business.
I'd have to say to be persistent, try hard. It's not going to come on your first try. I mean, last year, I didn't even make it past the regional stage, which was very exciting for me considering I made it to nationals now. But just keep trying, keep at it, and eventually you could quite possibly succeed.
And when he's not working on solving economic problems, you may find him in the library.
I enjoy reading.
In Great Falls, Joe Biega, Fox 5.
All right, Tom Purvis up next with sports. What do you have for us tonight, Tom?
Well, one of the Grizz being recognized for last year's performance on the gridiron, but also what he could do this year. Plus, we take a look at one of the 10 Prep of the Year finalists here on KFBB. Stick around.
Our fans, I think, are really going to appreciate the experience that they're going to have.
Renovations underway at the home of the Helena Brewers. We're just 16 days from opening day. And a stud on the D-line for the Grizz recognized on a pretty prestigious watch list. All and more next. It's Fox 5 Sports.
Total sports coverage. Fox 5 Sports starts right now.
Hey, welcome into Fox 5 Sports, everyone. I'm Tom Purvis. It's less than 3 months now until the Grizz kick off the 2013 football season, and one of their defensive players has already been recognized. Zach Wagenman was named to the 2013 CFPA watch list for defensive linemen. Wagenman was only a sophomore last year but had a breakout year. He started all 11 games, was 6th on the team with 50 tackles, and led the team with 11.5 sacks. He was named to 3 different All-American teams and was the first team All-Big Sky Conference selection. Wagenman joins 38 other defensive linemen from the FCS level that will be in consideration for the top defensive end and tackle awards for this upcoming season. The CFPA is the largest awards organization in Division I college football. 16 days until Pioneer Baseball begins, when the Helena Brewers will travel to Billings to open their season. But in the meantime, one of the oldest ballparks in the league is getting a bit of a facelift. Kendrick Legion Field, home of the Helena Brewers, as you might have guessed, is undergoing some remodeling on the field and in the stands. Construction crews use laser gridding and 40 tons of new material to create a smoother playing surface on the infield, which will hopefully prevent bad bounces for the players. The new bleachers on the sides of the stands will add about 50 total seats, bringing the new max capacity to about 2,150.
We're mixing it all in, and then once they get it all mixed in, we're gonna laser level it out, and so it'll be even from front edge to back edge, so the ball will come off the grass and go onto the infield a lot truer.
We just think the players are really going to love the playing surface, and they'll play at a high level, but our fans, I think, are really going to appreciate the experience that they're going to have in a safer, cleaner, better view of watching the game.
If you haven't heard, you have a chance to help name the 2012-2013 KFBB Montana Prep of the Year. Until next Friday, June 14th, you can go online to kfbb.com and cast your vote. While voting is open, we're spotlighting each of the 10 finalists one a day. Colin Harmon gives us our first finalist.
Kendall Denham, Malta. The senior quarterback and safety led the Mustangs to a Class B state runner-up finish for the second year in a row, earning all-state honors, throwing for nearly 1,700 yards and 24 touchdowns while rushing for $163 and 6 more scores. Where the football team fell short, the Malta basketball team did not, as Denham led the Mustangs to their second consecutive state title in March, where he was named the Class B state tournament MVP, took home all-state honors, and was selected to the Montana All-Star team.
Kendall is a hard worker, and he's very competitive. He's willing to make sacrifices for the team to be successful. He's a great team player. He doesn't worry necessarily about his scoring. He's more concerned about the team themselves winning and distributing the ball where it needs to go. Whether that can be in football or that can be in basketball as well.
In addition to placing in 3 events at the state track and field meet, Denham was also the recipient of the Malta Athletic Club Achievement Award, and his athletic prowess won't soon be forgotten in the Malta community.
You know, the kids in the grades in the middle school, they have really looked up to Kendall. I know, a lot of them are trying to emulate him, and I think his impact in our basketball program is not going to be over just because he's graduated now.
So again, here's how you can vote. Head to kfbb.com, click on the sports tab, and you'll see the story there at the top of the page. A look at the numbers so far on the boys' side. Kendall is leading it with 30%. Troy Arnston has 20%. Owen DeBroiker and Nick Downs both have 18%. And Zach Molyneux is at 14%. And then the girls, Callie Kantak first with 25%. Kara Gerke second with 23%. Bailey Dexter third with 21%. Anna Weber fourth, 19%. Jill Barta in fifth at 12%. The numbers have changed a lot since yesterday, so log on and vote and make your voice heard. And that's all for sports. We're back after this.
Hey, you've got to check out our Fox 5 Facebook page and like it if you haven't already. We've got a great Tell Us a Fox question this week, so be sure to check that out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night.